Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. I'm just coming off shift. I'm a little bit sleepy. You can see Dirt Perfect's got his crew back there working on another ICF house, which is pretty exciting, but I'm gonna be hopping in this real quick. The homeowner here wants to dig a pond in the future, or build a pond, however you say it. So we're going to dig a couple test holes out in the field. Did I mention I'm sleepy? All right, let's get this thing going and we'll get on our way. Well, that is exciting. It's always exciting when she starts. I don't know why I have such trouble with this door. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see what's behind us. Just another machine. Oh, jeez. Simmer down there, bud. Simmer down there, bud. They're only to raise this driveway up, make a dam out of it. I don't know, there, you tell me when. Anyway, this is all old strip pit. This section here, not up by the house, but this section here. So we're gonna dig a few test holes and see what kind of material we're working with here. Here's what we're breaking into now. Let's go a little bit deeper and see what we get. Kind of see the layers there. You got some topsoil, just some good old dirt. I'm not 100% sure. It's almost like a shale, that gray layer there. And then we do have pretty good clay for pretty good depth below that. I'm gonna holler at Mike, have him come look at it, and then we're gonna dig one more over there and one more up there. So they are very happy with that hole. Very happy with that hole. So we're gonna fill her back in here. Honestly, probably easier to just use that blade, wouldn't it? But look at me go, I'm not using it. Anyway, we're gonna fill this one in and go dig another one here in just a hot minute, all right? This is the second test hole. We're up here by the dry dam. You can kind of see the layers in there on that one. This one is not as good. I'm going to take a little bit up to Mike for him to look at, but it doesn't have, it's got some clay in it, but it still likes to break apart fairly well. I'd like to see it, well, I'd like to see it have a little bit more clay. I'm going to take this up to Mike and have him look at it real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. So you can see it's a pretty big mixture of just kind of random stuff about, I don't know, that's probably 4 or 5 feet down, and then it gets into that stuff we showed you. It has a little bit of clay in it. Mike said he's happy with it. It does have a little bit more rock than the first hole, but you can see on the back side here where I kind of smeared it with my bucket that I'd say most of it is probably clay, so he's happy with that. He thinks that's going to hold water as well. We'll fill this one in and go on to the third one. Third hole, and that one looks really good actually. That's nothing but clay in there. I'm gonna take them up a sample real quick so they can look at it. Here's the last thing we dug. There's a little bit of stuff mixed in, but it's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that's pretty much the full depth down on this one. All right, let me take it up there and then we'll go on to number 4. Just as I figured, they love that sample as well. 3 out of 4 good so far. Let me get this one filled in. We'll go for number 4, and then we'll get into something else on this video. We got a lot going on. This is just a short part of it. All right, here we go. Fourth and final hole. Let's time lapse it. So this is hole number 4. If you remember, number 1 was right, look through the railing. Number 1 was right there, and hole number 4 is pretty much identical to that. It's got that one thin gray layer, which is made up of this shell kind of stuff here. Here's a better example of it. Oh God, come on. There we go. It's made up of that layer, that stuff there. And then it's just pretty much clay once you get below that, which is good. I don't know if you guys know this, but clay is pretty good for making lakes or ponds or anything that holds water. I'm gonna walk around to the back side. Hey, looks pretty good. Oh yeah, that's gonna work good. So the good news for the homeowners, you got 4 good test holes for a really nice little pond lake job in here. Good news for you guys, you'll have a good pond lake job video to watch on Dirt Perfect's video. All right, so that's gonna be it for me on this job, but definitely not it for the video. You guys saw the intro, lots of stuff going on. So I'm gonna get this hole filled in and I'm gonna head to the house, and you guys are gonna head to the next part of the video. That's the plan anyway. the test holes for the lake turned out pretty good, and I think that's going to be a beautiful spot. They're building a little home up on the hill. They'll overlook that lake. I think it's going to be really nice. But this is the different day, different morning. We were supposed to go run a trench today, but I'm sure you can see weather's not too cooperative. That's what came through. We got about 1.5 inches of rain last night, and we may still go do it. We may just go mud it in. It's a pretty short trench, but kill a little bit of time. Mike left. Oh no. There it is. There it is. Mike left a new tooth. We're gonna put a new tooth on the bucket. But I do know one thing that's happening in this video. I promised you guys an update on the perk test for the septic system for the YouTube yacht. So that will be at the end of the video. We'll definitely cover that. We also got some packages in, some stuff ordered for myself, and some stuff some subscribers sent, so we'll go over that stuff as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. So this is up at the shop. They got her straightened out for me. Oh yeah. So I tweaked this one the other day, or at least I'm assuming it was me. One of these posts was bent, so it wasn't going in the rails as nice as we should, but man behind the scenes and Dirt Perfect got that one all fixed up for me. Be honest with you guys, I'm not 100% sure how this is supposed to work. These are both the same size. This side has a little bit bigger. That doesn't really make a difference if those are the same size, I guess. Unless, oh, I see what we got going on here. I bet. No, that wouldn't make any sense. I bet somehow that's supposed to go in there and ride between here and here. But in that hole maybe, like that. Like that maybe? So how do we make that happen there, bud? Oh, okay. Well, I bet we just put that in there. We can figure this out. I bet, oh, I bet that plastic piece needs to stay on. Hold on. That'll ride that dirt out of there. But that's gonna ride right in there, and that's gonna keep it centered for us, isn't it? Yeah. That'll keep it centered for us. And then I bet we just slide the tooth over. What do you guys think? Like that? And then somehow we get that pin in there. I don't know. Oh, that slides in like that. And then we just got to drive the rest through. Then we just got to drive that through the rest of the way, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just making this up as we go, but I think that looks right. I know you guys will tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, so no worries there. The good thing is I forgot a hammer today, but we all know everything's a hammer, so we'll see what we get here. See what we get. We're just gonna have to commit here. Hey, it did something. That's exciting. Oh, look at there. Is in how it's supposed to be. They're all a little wobbly. They're all probably a little worn. But I guess that pin's in there, right? That little collar, that little metal collar, snapped around that little indentation like that. I mean, they all kind of have that little bit of play to them like that. I mean, that collar went around that indentation. I guess that's all it has to do. Let's call that a win. And if it falls out, well, then we'll call it a lose, but good enough. We're gonna get the truck, trailer, Traco, trailer, trenching bucket. Things. We're doing things, guys. So the good news is the truck's topped off, ready to go. The Traco's on, the trailer ready to go. We got the tooth on. The Traco's all topped off with fuel ready to go. The bad news is, just got off the phone with the homeowner. He thinks it's too wet to trench today, but that's fine. Today is Friday in real life, and the next day I'm off during the week is next Tuesday, so I think I'm just gonna go trench it for him Tuesday. Either way, we're chained down and ready to rock. So, let's go pick up a D4 instead. Let's do that, shall we, bud? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So I did end up hauling the D4 and the 850 later that day, and you guys remember those brackets I showed you earlier in the video and said they just got fixed? Well, I broke one of those. But in an effort to keep the video at a manageable length, we'll do hauling the D4 and 850 in an upcoming video. Right now, we're gonna head out to the YouTube Yacht site and go through some packages we got and the update on where we're at with the septic system. All right, so channel updates. One, we're gonna go over some things I ordered. Most of you guys know how this works, but we make a little bit of money off of YouTube, and basically everything we're making is going into the YouTube Yacht project. But I did take a little bit of revenue from July, and July was just a really good month. I had a video It was that stump burning video with the barrels. I don't know if you remember. That video did really, really well. I think it's got 290,000 views, somewhere around there right now. So I was able to spend a little bit extra and buy some things that'll help us out around the homestead, so I'll show you that. We got some packages from some awesome subscribers. We'll show you that. And then we're going to talk about this septic system behind me and where we're at on that now. It didn't quite go how we planned. So we also picked up a milling chain for the 55. Now, we're still saving up for that bigger saw for the bigger milling, but you guys saw we have those smaller 10, 11, maybe a couple 12-inch cedar logs, and I've got a project coming up that I need some milled cedar. So I got a milling chain for the 55, and we're going to try milling that in a future video, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to be nice. And then we got this thing. Let's open this up. This, oops. This is a Forester blade. I don't know if you guys can see that, how well that shows up. It has chainsaw teeth around the edge. I have a crazy, wild idea on how to use this. It will not look like this whenever its final product is complete, but just know we have a very, very, very fun modification project coming up in the future that will involve this strange cutting blade. So we got that coming up as well. If you remember a while back, somebody sent some Gopro mounts, which was pretty awesome. They also had some fire patches in that box, and I forgot to mention that last time, but here they are, Calhoun, Georgia Fire Department. And then the same people sent a separate patch, and this patch didn't arrive until after the Calhoun patch, but they mentioned it to one of their fire department members. She is actually a dispatcher there, and he took this patch off his shirt, which is pretty awesome, and they sent that in. So thank you very much for that. That is going to be awesome looking on the patch wall. I'm excited about that. Then we got another fire patch from David Fisher from Muncie Fire Department, which is pretty cool because I actually lived in Muncie for a couple years when I was going to Ball State University. So this is pretty cool. David also sent some Gopro mounts in as well, which is always appreciated. So David, thank you very much for this. I'm not really sure who this is from. I'm still trying to figure that part out, but check it out. It's a saw haul. So if you're not familiar with these, this is a bracket. See that? This is a bracket that mounts to the side of your tractor, and it's basically, the best way I know how to describe it, it's a holster for your chainsaw. So I plan on putting this on the side of the 755, and I can either do the 55 or I can put the Ryobi in there or whatever. This is awesome, and as soon as I figure out who sent it, they will be getting a big shout out as well. All right, so let's talk septic system. It's definitely the biggest update of the video and the biggest update in the channel for a long time. So the good news is, and there's good news here, we did find a suitable septic site. The bad news is, it's behind me, right next to the truck. The Youtube Yacht project is about 500 feet that way. Now, we, and I say we, myself and the soil scientist, started at the YouTube Yacht and slowly worked our way this way until we found a suitable site. And it went like this: red clay, red clay, red clay, red clay, red clay, suitable septic site. And this is the first place we did it. I mean, we tried about every 75 feet or so working our way along this way. And this was the first location where we did not run into red clay. He did 3 test holes, which is what is required by the state we are in. See that flag right there? There's test hole 1. We'll come around through these trees. Flag right there, test hole 2. This is just a reference stake I drove in the ground. Just in case those flags disappear, we can relocate those holes. Test hole number 3. This is what the test hole looks like. Okay, my hand, it's just about a 3-inch hole that he goes in, and he pulls the soil out. This presents a little bit of a problem, but Chelsea and I don't look for problems, we look for solutions. So we have 2 options at this point, the way we see it. We can leave the YouTube Yacht project where it's at and try to find a way to pipe it from there down to here. One of the things we have to check for that is we have to start here and shoot our way back grade-wise and see if we even have enough fall, because I'm going to tell you right now, you can pump systems, but 1, pumps are expensive, pumps break down, pump maintenance is expensive, and it's just something I don't want to have to mess with. Option 2 is we move the YouTube Yacht building site to right here. Pro, it's right by the septic field. Another pro that valley right there, I don't know how well you can see it or shows up, that is where we are going to do that split lake or pond, whatever you want to call it, depending on what you call it where you're from, with our neighbors. So like we said, we definitely have some thinking to do and a big decision to make. Keep it where it's at or move the site. Now, of course, we still have this road going all the way through, and we will plan on doing that all chert base rock. If we do abandon that site, we'd still like to put the road back there because we still might like to put ourselves a little shelter house or something like that out there, and maybe a primitive style cabin out there one day. It's not something we're going to abandon because we've put a lot of work into this road. But I think you guys understand we have a big decision to make. We would appreciate your input and what you think about the two sites, but in the end, it's going to be up to us, obviously. So we will make this decision by the end of the week, end of next week, which means you guys will know the decision in probably 2 weeks because we're ready. Mentally, emotionally, the revenue's doing fairly well right now, which is what we're using to pay for most of this project. Mike's got really big, exciting news announcement-wise on equipment on his end, which you'll have to stay tuned to his channel to find out, which means equipment-wise, we're pretty much ready to get started on this project. We're ready. It's time to go. It's time to break ground. It's time to get the footers formed. It's time to get this thing up, coming out of the ground. We're excited. We got to get this decision made, and then we're moving. It's as simple as that. So, hope you guys enjoyed the update. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, I did move the 850 today. Like I said, didn't go to plan. That will be an upcoming video. Nutsy 319 Pete, he is in town right now, hanging out with Logger Wade today. So I think he's stopping by, or hope he's stopping by tomorrow. We can take that big oak tree on. So that's coming up. I'm super excited. A lot of big stuff happening. As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.